Imagine waking up in your locked third-story apartment at 3:15 a.m. You live completely alone, and the city outside is dead quiet. Suddenly, your phone buzzes on the nightstand. It's a notification. Front door unlocked by Clara. Then a second message appears. Thermostat set to 55 degrees. You realize with absolute certainty that someone is inside your home network. But as you reach for your phone to dial 911, the smart speaker crackles to life. Over a burst of static, a synthesized voice whispers your own private Wi-Fi password back to you. To understand how a home turns against its owner, we have to look at the setting. It's late 2024 in Austin, Texas. A massive tech boom has driven rental prices to extreme levels, creating a fiercely competitive housing market for students and young professionals. Clara Vance, a graduate student at the University of Texas, was caught in this financial squeeze. Her stipend barely covered groceries, yet she lived in an ultra-smart tech apartment, a complex requiring every tenant to use a single mandatory app to control their keyless locks and thermostats. Desperate to bridge her financial gap and avoid eviction, Clara launched a private modeling page on a platform called Subrosa. Under the alias Vespera, she posted stylized, faceless photos, believing her anonymity was the only thing protecting her from the potential risks of the platform. For many young adults, the modern cost of living crisis creates a dangerous trade-off. When the price of basic physical shelter outpaces a standard paycheck, people routinely commodify their digital privacy as a survival mechanism to maintain that shelter. For the first 2 months, the plan worked. Then she noticed a subscriber named Archon_99. He was generous with tips, and unlike other followers, he never sent aggressive or vulgar messages. The dynamic changed when Archon99 offered Clara $300 to take a photo wearing a specific, rare 1970s emerald green silk dress. Clara owned that exact dress, but it was kept in the back of her closet. She had never once posted a picture of it online. After she sent the photo, Archon99 messaged her again, suggesting she switched from Earl Grey to chamomile tea before bed to help with her insomnia. Clara realized then that her digital life had fully leaked into the physical world. She had never shared her real name or her nighttime routine on camera. Terrified of her upcoming bills, Clara allowed financial desperation to override her survival instinct. Archon99 offered $500 for a 60-second walk through her apartment at 3 in the morning, holding only a candle. She recorded the video. His response the next morning contained no tip, just a single sentence. "Thank you. Now I know the blind spots." He then deleted his account and vanished. In digital spaces, anonymity is often a fragile illusion. Supposedly private transactions can leak ambient metadata to map a home's interior and identify security gaps. The anomalies began that same night. Clara would set her smart thermostat to a comfortable temperature, only to wake up freezing at 3 a.m. to find the dial forced down to 50 degrees. In the living room, her smart TV started turning itself on in the dead of night, blaring distorted static at maximum volume. The harassment escalated from hardware glitches to direct surveillance. Her smart speaker suddenly played a recording of a private phone conversation she had had with her mother earlier that day. When Clara checked her Subrosa inbox, she found a message from Archon99 containing live, high-definition video feeds. They were wide-angle overhead shots of her living room and bedroom, positioned from the ceiling corners. The intruder hadn't compromised Clara's laptop or phone directly. Instead, he targeted the building's central management network, the overarching cloud system that governs the entire complex. By accessing this hub, he bypassed every personal firewall on the property. This access turned the landlord's mandatory, pre-installed sensors and security cameras into a private surveillance grid. Because Clara had walked through her home with that candle, he knew exactly where to look to avoid the cameras he couldn't control. When apartment complexes mandate building-wide IoT infrastructure, they're installing a centralized system that puts the visual and physical controls of a private home into the hands of anyone who can access the building's server. Clara fled Austin that night, driving an hour to a cheap motel off Highway 71. She prioritized a space with heavy brass keys and peeling wallpaper, hoping to find safety in a room that lacked any smart technology. As she sat on the motel bed, she received a link from an unknown number. When she tapped it, she saw a live video feed of herself sitting in that exact room, staring down at her phone in real time. Looking up at the ceiling, she found a tiny, blinking blue camera lens hidden inside the cracked plastic housing of the motel's outdated smoke detector. Her phone rang immediately. When she answered, the voice on the other end was calm and familiar. It was Julian, her ex-boyfriend, who told her she still looked best in emerald green. Julian was a network engineer who had supposedly died in a car crash on Route 290 14 months earlier. Facing federal fraud charges, he had faked his death and used his technical expertise to wait for Clara to open a digital door so he could follow her. Sophisticated technical skill allows malicious actors to bridge seemingly disconnected networks. When an intruder knows how the underlying infrastructure operates, physical distance and analog locks offer very little protection. Clara abandoned her life in Austin to live entirely off-grid in rural New Mexico. She now lives in a cabin with no Wi-Fi, no smart devices, and no digital footprint. The police investigation into the motel incident went nowhere. Julian used his access to wipe the cameras remotely and vanished into a network of encrypted virtual private networks, leaving no evidence behind. The threat remains. 3 months ago, Clara's mother received an automated notification from her own home security system. New guest user Julian successfully added to your home network. In the rush for convenience, we have connected every lock, camera, and light to the cloud. We trade our physical autonomy for the ease of a smartphone app, assuming the system is designed to protect us. Building a digital fortress often results in a permanent vulnerability. By connecting every physical entry point to a remote server, we create a system that can be used to monitor and trap us just as easily as it was meant to keep the world out.